That day, I was scrolling Twitter like usual. I stumbled on some teaser art from an illustrator I like. I skimmed the preview for 3 seconds, and the moment I saw that blonde, blue-eyed exotic dancer, I knew this Doujin. I had to buy it. Later, I found out his name was Zelda's legendary hero, Link, aka the green-capped hero, Hyrule's resident menace, and a famously committed cross-dresser, also in sus Doujins. Anyway, no more Doujin talk. Today I am here for real, to talk about the game that changed my life. Just like how there are tons of number 3 cola brands, there are also several games people call the best in the world. But there is only one true peak, and that is Zelda. More specifically, it is Breath of the Wild. That was basically all I'd heard before I played it. Back then, I was honestly a little scared. With hype that high, what if it didn't live up to it? Wouldn't that be a huge letdown? But it turns out I worried for nothing. Over the next 170 plus hours, this game showed me what it means to truly live up to the legend. When I woke up in the shrine, stepped out of the cave, and that mellow music kicked in, I looked out over that vast, endless land, and a wave of emotion hit me, but once they all wore off, I was instantly confused. Who am I? Where am I? What am I supposed to do? An old man nearby glanced at me, so I walked over. He told me I was a hero who'd been asleep for 100 years. In the faraway castle, Princess Zelda was fighting alone against a terrifying demon king. I needed to regain my strength ASAP, defeat him, and save the princess. Oh, got it. Oh, a butterfly. So just like that, within the first 5 hours of the game, I already knew my ultimate mission. But it wasn't until around hour 175 that I finally pulled the Master Sword and stormed the castle. So what was I doing for those 170 hours in between? What was I actually up to? Obviously, becoming the Pirate King, because Luffy once said, the freest person on the sea is the Pirate King. Yup, for those 100 plus hours, I was basically living in total freedom, doing whatever I wanted, whenever I felt like it. The Demon King's castle was literally right there in front of me, but on the way, something else would always steal my attention. Whenever I passed a village, I'd always stop and look around. Was there any treasure hidden by the wall? If I saw a mountaintop glowing with that shrine yellow light, I'd head over to activate it. The forests were full of mushrooms and wild herbs, and there were always travelers and NPCs along the road worth talking to. I'd start out heading toward the marker on the map, but every time I snapped back to reality, I'd somehow end up in a brand new spot, having an absolute blast. In short, I was interested in basically everything, except saving the princess. Early in the game, I really thought all this getting sidetracked was just my own curiosity. But gradually, I realized it was the game itself, quietly guiding me beyond the main quest. Wait, you need to cross this forest. Then the game throws in a traveler getting swarmed by bokoblins. If you have to climb over a mountain, you'll reach the summit and see a thin wisp of cooking smoke and a small wooden cabin. And when you're about to cross a large bridge, a glowing dragon can suddenly fly right overhead. Seeing things like that, can you really resist going to explore? And when you actually follow your curiosity, you'll get a small reward. The person you saved gives you a token of thanks. In an empty cabin, you find the owner's treasure hunt diary. And if you dare to shoot an arrow at a dragon, congrats, you'll get a glittering dragon scale. This whole cycle of guidance, curiosity, exploration, and reward is what kept me in this world for over 100 hours. Lots of games have their own unique vibe. Some feel like a vacation with a close friend, just taking a little trip together. Some leave you feeling like you've just talked with a weathered sage who's seen it all. But to me, Zelda felt like reliving a happy, carefree childhood with an unbelievably patient grown-up by my side. Whenever I had some weird idea, can I do this? Can I do that? The game would answer by letting me try. And when it worked, it was like, yeah, of course you can. It doesn't shove quests and rewards in your face, telling you, climb that mountain and you'll get paid. Instead, it simply makes you want to climb it, because the mountain is there. That's Zelda's guiding at its best, bold as hell, subtle as a whisper. People say you shouldn't play Breath of the Wild too early, because once you finish it, everything else starts to feel kinda bland. Sure, it's half a joke. But honestly, I hope you play it sooner rather than later. Because this game teaches you the most precious trait a player can have: curiosity. Oh, and one more thing, don't forget to leave the most precious thing you have as a viewer: a like.